Okay, welcome everybody. Welcome. So we're here holding by possibly the end of Torah Vav, where we are going to see how everything that Rabbeinu taught us in this Torah so far is hinted to and is brought out in the kavanos of the Arizal for Chodesh Elul, to do with Teshuvah. So we all know, just to give some background, that the Arizal was the major revealer of Kabbalah before, in around the 1500s, before the time of the Baal Shem. Really, the way we kind of view the revelation of Kabbalah is that first Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai revealed a certain level of revelation of the deeper wisdom of the Torah in the time of the Tanaim, and then his revelation of the Torah was the Zohar HaKadosh, and the Zohar is beautiful and poetic, and the Kabbalah is very deep, but it was very, very hard to understand, and certain things we were not able to make sense of exactly. So came along the Arizal around the 1500s and made the second great revelation of Kabbalah. And the system of the Arizal was able to basically show how everything from the Zohar fit together and answer how all those aspects that were difficult to understand really all fit in one path. And then after the Arizal came in the line of Kabbalah, let's say the Rashash further went and gave a little bit more of a revelation and a little bit more of a tweaking of the system of the Arizal, that everything made sense. And of course the Baal Shem Tov took the Kabbalah of the Arizal and brought it into Chassidus, brought it into a way that we can see it in our everyday existence, that we can take the tremendous depth and apply it to our lives at every step of the way, is what the Arizal, is what the Baal Shem Tov did. And this is the path of Chassidus, and the path that was taken up by Rebbe Nachman, and within his Torahs, he very often brings down Kabbalah. Very often from the Tikkunei Zohar, which we said a few lessons ago, Rebbe Nachman held was even much higher than the Zohar itself, the Tikkunei Zohar. And what we're going to see today, Bezras Hashem, is we're going to see how everything that Rebbe Nachman taught us in this Torah is really, we're going to pull the curtain back and see how what he was saying in such a simple way is really cutting to the depths of understandings of the kavanos of the Arizal in a very, very, very special way. Not that the Torah was simple, but compared to the deep level of Kabbalah that's behind it, it might be a little bit simple. So we have a few sheets to look at today. Pass this one around, please. This first sheet is just the flow of the concepts of this Torah that we'll go through very quickly. This is like the review we do every week, but made quicker and made into a sheet that we can see, because we have to just remember the structure of this Torah, and then we'll start to see how the Arizal fits into it. So let's take a look at this sheet. I will upload it onto the YouTube video also. Hi to everyone who's listening online, by the way, in different parts of the world, wherever you are. So take a look at this sheet. So the first thing we said, we're going to go through this quickly, and please everybody try your best to remember, so we can, and to keep holding cup, as we say, so we can understand where we are. Please pass this one out also. This one we have. This is a slightly updated version of it. One word has been changed in there. So the first thing we said is that a person needs to be humble, and that means that we're going to raise up the honor of Hashem and lower down our own honor. The honor of Hashem is called Kavod Elokim, godly honor, and the lower honor, our own honor, is called Kavod Malachim. And we said that the only way that we can raise up the honor of Hashem, the Kavod of Hashem, is through doing tshuva. And we said that the main tshuva that we can do, the main aspect of tshuva, once again, there's many different ways to do tshuva, but the ikar tshuva, said Rebbe Nachman, is when you hear your own embarrassment and you remain yidoim v'yishtoik. You remain quiet and silent within and silent without, or from out. And we said that means not reacting in a place of embarrassment and not fighting back, rather being humble and allowing ourselves to ascribe honor to Hashem and not honor to ourselves. Then we said that honor is connected to the concept of keser. Because like the Tikkun Azera said, v'leis kavod b'lei chaf. And the letter chaf, 20 esrim, is related to the aspect of keser. And keser, of course, is that upper existence, the highest sphera, that existence that's beyond our ability to understand, beyond our ability to quantify, to speak about, but we try. And connected to that realm is the realm of silence. Just like that Iker Tshuva is to hear your embarrassment and remain silent, that is an aspect of Keser, because Keser is silence. It's beyond speech, it's beyond discussion. And it's also an aspect of waiting, Hamtana. Not responding, not reacting, is this aspect of waiting. As we said from the Gemara, Haba l'taher, someone who comes to purify themselves, someone who wants to do tshuva. One of the things the Gemara said was, Omrim lehamtein. We say to that person, wait. Just don't react. Don't go too far ahead. Just exist where you are right now and accept what's happening right now, and be in the realm of doing tshuva in this way. And we said that is connected to the name of Hashem, which is corresponding to tshuva, which is the name Ekyeh, Aleph, Hey, and Yud, and Hey. That means, as the Gemara said, as the Zohar said, I'm zamin lemeheve, I'm ready to exist. I will be. In other words, if I haven't done tshuva yet, I don't actually exist in the way that I should. I'm not the person that I should be yet. So I don't really exist. Right? That's Ekyeh. So, and we said this concept that before we do tshuva, Ekyeh, this name of Hashem called Ekyeh, is in Hastaras Panim, is hidden. And we said that there's this form of gematria called Hastaras Apanim, where you keep going back to the beginning, turning around and going back to the beginning. And Hastaras Panim, gematria of Ekyeh, is dam, blood. And blood means when your blood is boiling for the Yetzer Hara, the left ventricle of your heart where the blood is the place of the Yetzer Hara. And we said that it's an aspect of Tuma. That's the negative side of Ekyeh. That's when Ekyeh, this name of tshuva, is not being realized. When we're not doing tshuva, we're in Yetzer Hara mode. We're in dam mode, blood mode. And what do we want to do? We want to change dam to doim. We want to change blood into silence. It's the same letters. And that's the change. The Iker Tshuva is to remain silent and not to fight back for our own honor, rather to ascribe honor to Hashem. Then we said this concept of tshuva al tshuva, that there's always a higher level of tshuva to do, looking back at the person that I was before, right? And realizing that the way that I did tshuva was so elementary, was so lowly compared to my outlook now. Tshuva al tshuva. So then we said, this is the main part that we have to remember, Rabbi Isai, that we have this concept of darchei tshuva. Rabbeinu said, someone who wants to go on the darchei tshuva, someone who wants to go on the ways of tshuva, has to have shnei bekiyos, has to have two aspects of expertise. He has to be a baki baratzui and a baki b'shoev. He has to be an expert in ascending and an expert in descending. He has to know how to exist in my relationship with Hashem when I'm going up and everything's going well. My tshuva is going well, my relationships are going well, my learning is going well, my davening is going well, everything's going the way it's supposed to. There's a way to be. And we're going to see that very in beautiful words soon. And then when I'm going the other way, when I'm going b'shoev, when I'm going down, when I'm descending, and things are not going so well, and my avodas Hashem is not going well, I also have to be an expert in that realm and know how to relate to Hashem and know what I have to do. When I'm going up, I have to remember that Hashem is always higher, and I can always keep going. And I can't allow my ego to come in and think that I'm done, that I've arrived, that I've figured it all out. No, I got to realize that I'm still lowly compared to Hashem, and I have to keep moving and keep moving. And when I'm going down, I have to remember that Hashem is with me, holding my hand in that low place. And that was the pasuk. Im esak shemayim sham ata. Please, everybody, look in number 6. I know you can't see the numbers so well. Right in the middle, the bolded pasuk. Im esak shemayim sham ata. If I will reach to the heavens, I know you're there, Hashem. You're there. You're still farther ahead of me. Va'atzia sha'oil. And if I will make my bed in the pit, in the lowly realms, hineka, you're with me. You're here with me. You're together with me. You're holding my hand. That pasuk we have to remember. We have to remember darchei tshuva, the ways of tshuva. There's 2 ways. We have to remember it's 2 types of expertise, baki b'ratzi, baki b'shov, and we have to remember this pasuk. Im esak shemayim ata v'atzia sha'ol hineka. And then we have to remember this chart. We have to remember a few aspects from this. That we had if you look at the Aleph, that we had that the top Aleph represents Keser, represents Moshe Rabbeinu, represents the sun. the top yud, the lower yud represents being humble, represents silence, represents Yoshua, and the vav in the middle represents embarrassment, represents the tent of meeting of Yoshua and Moshe, and represents the rakia, the sky, and that the top one, the bottom one, corresponded to the vowel chirik, that one single vowel. And that one single little vowel is the smallest of all points in the Torah. That small vowel is humility, is being humble, is being small, allowing myself to be small. And then the top yud corresponded to the vowel segol, which is three points, which is kind of the shape of a yud, 1, 2, 3. And that segol related to the aspect that there's 3 aspects of tshuva. The top one is 3 aspects of tshuva, the bottom one is being humble. Okay? And then we remember that the entire shiur was hinted to. All these concepts were hinted to in that story of Rabbi Bar Chana. And then in 3 other psukim, we saw how everything that Rabbeinu said fit into these psukim as well. Were hints of these psukim. So now we're going to begin. And I want everybody to take one of these sheets as well, please. And we'll see what we got. Okay. So we're on page 292 in the English. This is in the Hebrew. It's where it starts by saying Shayach Le'el. Going back to what we learned a little bit earlier, it means 292. Haidul Hashem Ki Tov. Thank you, Hashem, that we have Rebbe Nachman and this amazing Torah. Okay, so Zok Rabbeinu. Sorry, Zok Reb Nosson. What?
Choice.
Which ois? It's called Shayach Le'el. That's what it says. After Vav, I think. Is it after Zion? After Zion. Let me see. See it? Got it? Okay, Shayach Le'el. V'zeh soid kavanos Elul. And this is the secret of the meditation intentions of the month of Elul. Shematit ketzas ketipa min hayam. I heard a little bit, like a tipa min hayam, like a drop from the ocean. Ayin sham bekavanas shel Elul. Look over there in the Arizal's Svarim, in the intentions that are there for Elul. Mavoyer sham sheklal kavanas Elul hu hanoisen bayam derech. That the whole aspect of the kavanas of Elul is hanoisen bayam derech, that Hashem gives us a derech, a pathway in the yam. Bayam is one of the names of Hashem, and it relates to, it's the same gematria as the Shem of Hashem, Ban, which is Malchus, meaning that Hashem gives us a path in the realm of Malchus. Malchus is the lower existence. In this world, when we're struggling and we're trying to do tshuva, and it's dark and it's confusing, we're in the realm of Malchus. We're in the Malchus de Malchus. And this is what the kavanos of Elul are speaking about. Shetzrichim laha'ir bechinas derech bayom. We have to illuminate a derech, the pathway, derech, in the yam, in this aspect of Malchus. So, I just want to explain where this is coming from. The way that the story is brought down is that when Rebbe Nachman gave this shiur, this whole shiur that we heard already, for now 7 lessons up until this one, he gave it over to the regular chevra. And it was given on Shabbos Shuvah, right before Yom Kippur. And at that time, he gave over the whole shiur, and then at the end, he went over to some, after the shiur was finished, he went over to some of his Talmidim who were very, very well versed in the writings of the Arizal, in the kabbalistic writings of the Arizal. And he said to them, can any of you tell me how the kabbalistic intentions of Elul are hinted to in the whole lesson that I just gave? And no one had any clue what he was talking about. No one had any idea how it could possibly connect. And so he said to them, okay, here's what it is. And Reb Nosson was there. And this is the tipa here, like a little tiny drop from the ocean of the wisdom of Rebbe Nachman. He was revealed to him at this moment. And this is what Reb Nosson is trying to give us over right now. So in this realm, we have to find a derech, we have to find a path. Zeha derech hu bechinas, and this derech is an aspect of 2 times shnei pa'amim Hashem Yaboik, two times the name of Hashem, which is called Yaboik, Yud Beis Kuf. So Derech is gematria. If you look on this sheet over here, right? It's all laid out nicely over here. Derech is gematria 224, which is 2 times this name of Hashem, Yaboik, Yud Beis Kuf. Because 2 times the name of Hashem, Yaboik, comes out to the amount of derech. And this comes out from, it even continues further with the 2 names of Hashem, Shehem Kisa and Sag. There's 2 more names of Hashem. One of them is called Shem Kisa, and one of them is Sag. All these kabbalistic names of Hashem, by the way, are given those names that they are based on their gematrias, based on their numerical value. So the name of Hashem, Kisa, if you look on this sheet over here, this is from the back of Rebbe Chaim Kramer's English Likutei Moharan that we have here. And if you look, the name of Ekyeh over here, the expansions of the holy name Ekyeh, the first one, if you take that word, Ekyeh, and you spell it out with the miluyim, you fill in those letters. So instead of writing Aleph, Hey, and Yud, and Hey, you write out the whole Aleph. You write Aleph Lamed Pei, that spells Aleph. Then how do you write Hey? You write it Hey Yud, that spells Hey. How do you write Yud? Yud Vav Dal, that spells Yud. When you fill them out in that way, it's called the miluyim. The highest milui is this name, comes out to the gematria of 161, which is Kuf Samach Aleph, which is the name of Hashem called Kisa that we're talking about here. And the name of Hashem Sag is, if you look at the very top part, the second expansion, the second miluyim of the name of Hashem Yud Ke Vav Ke, when you spell out the Yud, Yud Vav Dalet, and the Hey, Hey Yud, and the Vav, Vav Aleph Vav, and the Hey, Hey Yud, it comes out to 63, which is the numerical value, Samach Gimel, which is why it's called the Shem Sag. So these are 2 kabbalistic names of Hashem, Ekyeh and Sag. And those 2 names coming together are a continuation of this concept. And how does that work? 1 second. Does it come out to that same thing? Yeah, so 161 plus 63 is 224. It's the same gematria as derech. It's the same gematria as yaboik, right? Keep this in your mind because we're going to explain it now. Ki elu shnei shemers, these 2 names of Hashem, Kisa and Sag, heim oile begematria shtei pamim yaboik. They come out to the gematria of 2 times of the name of Hashem, Yaboik, which is the gematria of derech, which is also the gematria of derech. Okay, everybody with me? V'tzarich lechavein shem Kisa besegol v'shem Sag bechirik. And as part of we're learning the kavanos of the Arizal right now. When, during this time of Elul, during our tefillahs, in certain places, we are picturing and having in mind these names of Hashem, this Kisa and Sag. We have to have the kavana where the Kisa is using the vowels of Segol. That's the 3 dots, Segol. And the Shem Sag is using the vowels of Chirik, which is the single dot. And if you look on this sheet, you'll see we have these miluyim here of the Shem Ksa right here, which has under each letter the vowel Segol. And the Shem Yud Ke Vav Ke, which adds up to 63, which is the Shem Sag, has a chirik under each letter. Everybody with me on that? Mm-hmm. Okay. We don't have to know what we're talking about yet. We're just putting the building blocks into place to be able to understand it. Okay. The segol de kasa, v'chirik de sag, and when you take the segol of these 3 dots, the segol of this name of kasa, and the chirik, the single dot of this name of sag, heim oilim tov, they come out to 600 to 400. So if you look on your thing there, I don't know if everybody knows this, but each one of the vowels, also in Hebrew, also have kabbalistic concepts to them, and they each have different aspects. It's not only the letters, and it happens to be that the single dot, which is the smallest, the single nakuda, has a gematria of 10. So here, what do we see over here? If you look under the Shem Sag, which is the Yud Hey Vav Hey, spelled out, all of those little dots, there's 10 dots. They come out to 100. And if you look under the first name, which is the one that has the 21 above it, this one here, It had all of those segels are there. There's 30 dots, which come out to 300. So it comes out to 400 completely. All those dots in the names of Hashem. This is what a Kabbalist is picturing when they're doing these meditations. These names spelled out in this exact way with these exact vowels underneath them. Okay, so it comes out to 400. Let me find my place here again. Because the name of Kesa is the name of Ekye, which is the name of Hashem of Tshuva, if we remember, in these filling outs. Aleph spelled like this, Hey spelled like this, Yud spelled like this, and Hey spelled like this. Shehem Yud Oisios, which is 10 letters. V'chol achas nekuda b'segel, and each one is vowelized with a segel, these 3 dots, as we have in our chart right here. 10 letters, each one has a segel underneath it. V'segel shel shalish nekudas, and a segel has 3 dots. Alkein hu oile shloshim, therefore it comes out to 330. V'alkein Yud pamim segel oile shin, and 10 times this amount of segel comes out to 300. Which is its gematria. V'sag heim Yud oisios shel milui havaya, which is Yud vav dalet, and Hey Yud, and Vav aleph vav, and Hey Yud, that's this one over here, which is 10 letters. V'chol achas nekuda b'chirik, and each one has a single chirik as its vowel, single dot, oile kuf, that comes up to 100. U'shneihem, and the 2 of them together, chirik desag, v'segol dekesa, the vowels of the chirik of this one, and the vowels of the segol of this one, together, oilim yachad tav, they come out together to 400, b'gematria, which is the gematria of Peshuta. Peshuta, what does Peshuta means? It means simple, and it also means, what we're going to say now, what? Spread out, good. Va'az ayedei kol habechinos hanal, through all of these, hayamin Peshuta lekabel teshuvasoi. Through these expansions, we see that in the month of Elul and in the when we say Tachanun and in the Slichas that we say, we always say that the right hand of Hashem is outstretched to receive us in Tshuva. The Yamin of Hashem, Hayamin Pshuta, is outstretched L'kabel Teshuvasai. So this expansion of these names with these particular vowels, we see comes out to Pshuta, Hashem reaching out His hand. It's like you're envisioning, right? Beyond just the math. It's like we're envisioning that Hashem is reaching out His hand to pull us in. That's, if we were having this kavanah, right? And we know exactly what's going on. These names are showing us that Hashem is reaching out to pull us in, to help us to do tshuva. Ki yamin b'milui oile derech, because the word yamin, in its spread out form, which I don't think I wrote over here, comes out to the word derech, same gematria as derech, with its 3 letters. Yeah, I did put it somewhere. Anyway. V'shehu shtei pamim yabek, which is the 2 times of yabek. That's what yamin is. Kol zeh mevoyer mitoch kavanas Elul. This is all what's written over there by the kavanas of Elul, the intentions of Elul by the Arizal. Okay, v'ata, here we go. V'ata, boy urei v'havein, eich kol hakavanos hanal. Come now and see and understand how all of these kavanas, merumazim v'ne'elamim b'derech nifla v'noira me'oid b'toich ha'Torah hanal. Come and see how all these kavanas are hinted to and are hidden within in a wondrous way within this Torah of Rebbe Nachman. Ki mevoyer sham. Because we said over there that someone who wants to do tshuva, we all remember this. Someone who wants to do tshuva has to have 2 types of expertise. 2 types of expertise. Hainu, baki baratzui, baki b'shoiv. They have to be an expert in ascending and an expert in descending. Shubachinas ayel v'nafik, which is what the Zohar says, zakah man da'ayel v'nafik. Fortunate is a person who can go up and can go down. Both of those things. B'chinasim esak shamayim shamata, like the pasuk says, if I will attain shamayim, if I will reach shamayim, shamata, you're there. Shubachinas baki baratzui, that's the expertise. That's baki going up. V'atzia shoel, and if I will descend down to the pit, hineka, you're here with me. Shubachinas baki b'shoiv, that's the second type of expertise. The baki b'shoiv, baki in going down. Kamavor le'el sham, ayin sham. We all remember that. I've said it like hundreds of times, right? Everybody's got that burned into their brains. Yeah? And the simple understanding of this, Someone who wants to go on the paths of tshuva, tzarich lachgor mosnav. A person has to gird their loins. And has to strengthen themselves in the ways of Hashem always. Bein ba'aliyah, bein bi'arida, whether I'm rising up, whether I'm sinking down. Which is this pasuk. If I go up to Shemayim, or if I make my bed in the pit. Hainu. Whether I'm meriting to be in a time in my existence where I'm going up, I'm having an aliyah, to a very high height. Afal pikein al yamoid sham. Don't stand there. Don't stop there. Don't be happy with yourself. Don't say I've had enough. You have to be a real serious baki, a real serious expert in this. Leida ulahamin shutzarich laleches yoiser veyoiser, to know and believe that you have to keep going further and further. Don't think you got it made, that you figured it all out. Shezeu bechinas baki baratzui. That's a baki baratzui. That's a baki in going up. Bechinas ayil, going up. Shehu bechinas im esak shamayim shamata, which is that part of the pasuk. If I will reach shamayim, you're still there, not here with me. You're there. And also the other way around. By the way, Rebbe Nachman said about himself that he never went moment to moment without moving to a new level. And he said that if he would ever get to a time where he could not move up anymore, he couldn't keep moving, then he would not want to be alive anymore. There would be no point if he wasn't moving up and up and up and always moving. Even someone on that level is always moving up and up. To the point that when he was nifter, he said the words that I'm not able to move anymore, and it's time for me to remove my garments so I can move further. His body was holding him back, and now he couldn't go any further in his body, and he said it's time for me to take off my coat so I can move further and further without it. You can't stop. You can't be happy with where we are. And also the other way around, even if I'm going to fall, chas v'shalom, l'makom sheyipol, to the place that I will fall, afilu b'sho'ol tachtis, even in the lowest of the low, gam kein al yisyayish atzmai la'olam, chas v'shalom, you cannot give up or despair, ever. V'tamid yechapes v'yavakesh Hashem yisbarach, it's Hashem yisbarach, and we always have to be looking for Hashem. V'yechazek atzmai b'chol makom shu, and wherever place we are, we have to know that Hashem's there. In any way I can. Higam b'sha'ol tachtis nimtza Hashem yizborach. Also in that low place, that pit, Hashem is also found there. He's there. V'gam sham yicholim l'dabek azatzmei elav yizborach. And even in that place, we can connect ourselves to Hashem in that lowest place. V'zeh b'chinas, and this is the aspect of that pasuk. V'atziyah sha'ol hineka. If I make my bed in the pit, you're here with me, Hashem. Here. This is the second type of expertise, the expert in descending, the baki b'shoev. Ki efshar leilech b'darchei tshuva, ki im keshabaki b'shnei habakiyos il. It's not possible to do tshuva. It's not possible to go on the paths of tshuva unless you are an expert in both of these aspects. Okay, ready for this? V'diktek Rabbeinu zichron livracha. And Rabbeinu Zal was very precise in his wording. V'kara inyan zeh b'loshen baki. And he said this aspect using the term baki. You have to be an expert. He didn't have to use the term baki. He could have said you have to be well versed. You have to be melumad. You have to be very, very well. You have to have a lot of knowledge in this area. But he used this term. It's a shtickle of an unusual term, a little bit. Baki. Because it means, it's referring to a tremendous type of expertise, when you really know what you're doing. Because this is when a person merits to know how to always be like giving it all he's got, really working hard to toil in the avodas Hashem always. And always be looking to get to a new higher level. And even so, he cannot fall because of anything. Even if he's in whatever situation he's in, chas v'shalom, a low situation. You cannot fall in your mindset. You can't allow yourself to be pulled down in depression, atzavus, sadness, or losing hope, chas v'shalom. V'yekayim v'atziyah shol hineka. And you always have to be mekayim. You always have to have this in your mind, fulfill this verse, that if I'm in the lowest of the low, Hashem is here with me. Val pisoid nelam, and according to this deep secret that we're seeing over here, bazeh soid kavanos Elul, in this secret of the intentions of Elul, ki baki hu bechinas shem yaboik, because baki, the word baki, expert, is the same exact letters as this name of Hashem, Yaboik. Baki, Beis Kuf Yud, Yaboik, Yud Beis Kuf. Shehu Oisyu is Baki, it's the same letters. And this person who merits to have these two expertises, these two types of expertise, Shehem Shtei Pamim Baki, which is 2 times the word Baki. I'm a Baki Baratzui, and I'm a Baki B'shoiv. Like he says, Dahainu Baki Baratzui, Baki B'shoiv. Al Yedei Zeh Zoiche LeDerech HaTshuva. It's through this that he merits to the derech, the path of tshuva. Ki Shtei Pamim Baki, Shehem Bechinois, Shtei Pamim Yaboik, these 2 types of baki, 2 expertises, which is the same as the 2 times the name of Hashem Yaboik. Oile begematria derech, comes out into gematria of derech. We have to know the derech of tshuva, the way of tshuva. What's the way of the tshuva? Is derech. Way is derech, which is 2 times gematria 224, which is 2 times the gematria of the Shem Yaboik, which is 2 baki, 2 times baki, which means I have to have these 2 bakiyas, these 2 types of expertise. This Rebbe Nachman wrote these words. We all just heard it. And we thought, oh, you have to have 2 types of expertise. You have to be a baki baratzui and a baki b'shoyev, he wrote. Mm-hmm. So we're hearing it and we're like, yeah, it sounds great.
Mm-hmm. You have to be good in Tishrei and you have to be good in Heshvan.
That's right, yeah. So what was in Rebbe Nachman's mind when he's saying this? All of this that we're talking about. That this derech, it's just 2 times, which is 224, is baki, is these 2 types of bakiyas, which is 224. And that's not even the least of it. And this in itself is a big secret. It's these 2 types of expertise. Ki baki baratzui shu bechinas esak shamayim, and baki baratzui, which is the pasuk esak shamayim, ze bechinas segol de kisa, which is this aspect of the segol, the voweling of the segol of kisa, which we have over here. Ki esak oisyois kisa. So the name of Hashem, of Ekia, which is tshuva, which is spread out in this way to give us this name of kisa with the segol, to teach us about tshuva, about this expanded aspect of the names, that Hashem's reaching out His hands for us to do tshuva, is the name kisa. And the pasuk that we've been saying over and over again, when someone is reaching to do tshuva, is im esak shamayim sham ata. Im aleph samech kuf. Im esak shamayim sham ata. If I will get up to the heavens, you're there, Hashem, there. If I'm on this upward swing, if I need this type of bikiyus, this type of expertise, where I'm ascending, I'm esak, the name of Hashem is kisa, it's the same exact letters. Im esak shamayim, the name of Hashem that's expanded to show us this tshuva on that side, that aspect of expertise, that I have to know, I have to keep going and going, is the same exact letters that the Torah is telling us, that Tehillim is telling us, of im esak shamayim shamata. Have you ever heard that word in that way anywhere else? Im esak shamayim shamata. Baki baratzu shir esak shamayim zu b'chinas segol d'ksa ki esak ois yois kasa. Ubaki b'shoiv, and the other way around. That's if I'm going up. And the other way around. If I will go down, if I'll make my bed in the pit, you're here with me, Hashem. That is this valorization of the Shem Sag over here, which is the name Sag, which comes out to 63, which is why it's called the Shem Sag. Miloshin, so what does the Shem Sag teach us? How do we see that in this realm? The second half is if I'm descending. So Pasuk says, Al taseg gevul oilam. Do not, let's see how we translate it here. says, do not move back the border of your land, the border of the world. So that refers to holding back and moving back, falling back. The shirish of sag, of samach gimel. Al tase gevul olam. Do not move back the boundary. Shubachinas shemasig gevuloi umachziroi lachayrav. That's a lashon of pushing back the border and making it go further back and in a sense lower down. Shubachinas yerida, which is like a yerida. You're pushing back your border. She'adam noifel chas v'shal mimadragosai, a person falling from their level. Who nasoig achor, he falls backwards. Nasoig achor, samach gimel, chas v'shalom, God forbid. Afal piken yechazek esatzmi, a person has to strengthen himself. Val yisyayish atzmei lo'olam, he cannot give up hope. Ein shum yeush ba'olam klal. Higam sham nimtza Hashem yisborach, because even in that place, you find Hashem there. Hashem is there with you. If I fall down to that pit, you're here with me, Hashem. Kanal v'zeh bechinas Shem sag, and that's the name of Hashem, sag. Because sag means falling backwards. And the Shem Sag is the other name of Hashem in this kavanah of Elul that the Arizal gave us. So in other words, once again, we want to find the derech of tshuva. What do we have to have? 2 times baki, which is 2 yaboiks. These are all the same gematria. Derech is the same gematria as 2 times baki, 2 expertises. And what are the 2 names of Hashem that make up those gematrias of 224 that are also the same gematria as derech and the same as 2 times of baki? Are Kisa, which is im esak shemayim, the same exact letters, and sag, which means falling back into the pit. Kisegol da chama, because we know that the segol, is everybody with me on this, by the way? Yeah? A little bit? Kisegol da chama, because the segol is the sun. Shehu hanukuda hel yoina she'ala aleph, which we said is the top nakuda of the aleph on this aleph chart. Right? The top one is connected to segol. If you see the top word there is segol. Hanechleches l'shlosha tipin, which is split up into 3 drops. Shezeh bechinas esak shemayim, bechinas segol diksa, which is this aspect of esak shemayim, which is the segol of ksa. In other words, esak is corresponding to this name of Kisa, which has to be vowelized by the segels over here, because that's the sun. Shu ois esak, which is the letters of esak. The chirik hu bechinas nekuda tachtoina shel aleph, and the chirik was the bottom aleph, the bottom yud of the aleph over here. Shehu bechinas va'atzir sho'ol hineka, which is this aspect. If I fall down to the pit, you're here with me. Shu bechinas chirik desag, which is this name of Hashem over here, which is called Chirik Desag. And this is what Rabbeinu said earlier on in the Torah. And when a person has these 2 expertises, Azai hu hoylech bedarchei hatshuva, then he is walking on the paths of tshuva. Ki mishnei pamim baki, shehu bechinas kesa v'sag, because of these 2 times the gematria of baki, which equals out to kesa and sag, these 2 names of Hashem, which the Arizal told us are the 2 names of Hashem to do tshuva with in the month of Elul, because one's going up and one's going down. Esak shemayim ve'atzir sha'ol, the pasuk, esak shemayim and atzir sha'ol, if I'm reaching the heavens or if I'm going down to the pit. Through this, we make a derech. That is the derech of tshuva. Gematria shtei pamim baki, which is 2 times the gematria of baki. Derech, shem kisa v'sag. Ki ikar derech hatshuva zoichin al yedei shnei bekiyos, because the main pathway of tshuva that we can merit is through these 2 types of expertise. Va'az yamin Hashem pashuta lakabel teshuvasoi. Then Hashem's right hand is stretched out forth to receive us in tshuva. Ki yamin begematria derech, because yamin, right hand, is gematria derech. You hear? Oh, this is so ridiculous. Yamin is the gematria derech. Okay? And what happens when you spread forth derech? When you spread that forth, and when yamin is pshuta, when yamin is spread out, right? That's taking derech and flushing it out to this big expansion over here afterwards. In this big expansion over here, which we get to the gematria of the word pshuta, but it's also expanding it out with all of these aspects of these two types of being a bucky. One is going up, one is going down, and when you put in the segol, which is the reaching up to the sun, and the chirik, which is the going down to the moon, and you put them all out, it becomes out to the gematria of pshuta. At the same time as derech is spread out, the whole gematria of derech is spread out. Shem shtei pamim baki upshuta b'gematria segol t'ksav v'chirik t'sag. It all comes out to the same. Shehem ba'atzman b'chinas nekuda ha'alyoinu nekuda tachtoina, because them themselves are this aspect of the top nekuda and the bottom nekuda of the aleph. Shem b'chinas ma shetzrichin lavachesh Hashem yisbarach tamid. This is talking about this whole aspect that a person needs to always be searching out for Hashem in every single aspect. Hein l'mayla, hein l'mata, whether it's going above, whether it's going up, or whether it's going down. Whether I'm rising up to Hashem and I have to know He's further, and I got to keep going and keep going. Or I'm going down and Hashem's with me. I have to know I can't lose hope because Hashem's there with me. These are these two types of expertise. Then I have when I have these two types of expertise, then I'm walking on the paths of tshuva. Then I'm walking on the paths of tshuva. And then the right hand of Hashem is spread out to receive my tshuva, to receive me in tshuva. So I see I missed out one word in this thing, and that is the aspect of yamin. But if you see over here, look at this. So you have this gematria of 448, which is 100 plus 30 plus 26 plus 21 plus 1 for the whole koilel comes out to 448, which is, so this whole expansion, which is referring to these two aspects of tshuva, these two aspects of the kavanos of Elul, comes out to 448, which is 2 times the word derech, which means that we have to have darchei hatshuva. We can't only have the one path. It has to be that we have a path when we're going up and a path when we're going down. This is Baki, and Baki Baratzei, Baki B'shoyev, these two types of bakiyas that we have to have. Okay. Val Pizeh, Tavin, Lakasher HaTorah Hetev. And with this, we have to understand how to tie up, how to bring together the whole Torah well. Shema shekasav b'soif me'inyan nekuda ha'elyoina u'nekuda tachtona shel aleph. That this which we wrote at the end, that we have to be able to that we have to, from the inyan of the top point of the aleph and the bottom point of the aleph, zehu ba'atzma b'chinas shnei bekiyas. This in itself is these aspects of these two expertises that we have to have. Ki zeh einoi mevoyer b'perish HaTorah. This is not explained exactly in the Torah. Rak al pi kavanos, only through these kavanos of Elul are we able to see this. How it's the segol that comes out on the one side and the chirik that comes out on the other side. V'zeu ba'atzma b'chinas tshuva al tshuva. And this is also this aspect of tshuva al tshuva. Shekasav sham. Ki zvichas ha'yetzahara, because shechting our yetzahara. Shu b'chinas doim l'Hashem, which is this aspect of being silent for Hashem. Doim l'Hashem. Shu b'chinas tshuva harishona. That's the first level of tshuva. Shu b'chinas kavoid olam hazeh, which is corresponding also to the honor of this world. If you remember from the very beginning, that's the honor of someone who's honoring themselves, not honoring Hashem. Zeh b'chinas nekuda taktoina. This is referring to the lower dot. Shenais me b'chinas hadmim v'shtika. That's how we get to this level from being silent. Is that lower dot? B'chinas doim l'Hashem. That's being silent for Hashem. V'chol zeh b'chinas chirik desag, shu b'chinas baki b'shoyev. That's this aspect of the chirik of sag. Now remember, this expertise of when I'm low, when I'm in the realm of shem sag, which means I've fallen backwards, and it's vowelized by this one single dot. That was this aspect. The dot, the one single dot, is making myself small, making myself humble, right? That is this aspect of the first type of bakiyas. And it's hinted to in this whole entire thing. In other words, if we didn't have these kavanos of the Arizal, we wouldn't really see what Rabbeinu Zal meant when he said that the chirik is this aspect of tshuva, the first level of tshuva, which is being in a low spot, making myself humble, hearing my embarrassment, and not fighting back, right? Not arguing back. Rather, allowing my own honor to be lowered and the honor of Hashem to be lifted up. That's the first aspect of tshuva. And if we didn't have this whole thing, we wouldn't understand how it all connects in this way. Utshuva shniya, and the second aspect of tshuva, that's when we do tshuva on the first tshuva that we did. That's the honor of Olam Haba. That's the godly honor. Kavod Elokim Haster Davar, which is the godly honor. Kavod Elokim is Haster Davar, is a hidden matter, which we said is connected to Keser. Ze bechinas Nukuda El Yoina bechinas Keser. That's the upper Nukuda of the Aleph, which is an aspect of Keser, of the hidden, the highest surah. Shubechinas Moshe, which was also Moshe Rabbeinu, and which was the vowel of Segol. V'havein hadavarim heitev, eich kol hadavarim enamarim sham ba'atayra hanal niksharim v'nichlalim acharkach biyachad b'kesher nifla v'noira. How all of the things that Rabbeinu said in this Torah are now bound together in this wondrous, amazing way through the Kisvei Arizal. V'maskilim yavinu kitzas. And those who are really smart and who really understand will understand a tiny bit of it. He says, the ikar hadavar, the main aspect of this whole thing, is that when a person is on a low level, and he knows that even when I'm on this low level, he believes that even on this low level, there's still hope. Because also in that place, Hashem is found. Like the pasuk said, if I get down to that low place, Hashem, you're here with me. He draws onto himself holiness, kedusha, from this holy name of Hashem, which is the Shem Havaya, the Yud Kei and Vav Kei, with the milui of Sag. And it's from this name of Hashem. What's the name of Hashem? What does it mean when we say there's a name of Hashem? What are we talking about? Right? So when we're speaking about the fact that maybe someone who understands a little bit, who understands really well, will have a tiny little understanding. I'll tell you about my tiny drop of an understanding. Every single name of Hashem is telling us how a certain energy, a certain hashpah, a flow of energy, I don't know if energy is the right word, a flow is coming from Hashem, and we're able to receive it on a certain level, right? So the Shem, everyone knows the simple ones. The Shem Yud Kei Vav Kei, in general, is a name of Chesed. And when we see that name, we know that it means that Hashem is bringing onto us kindness and Chesed in a way that we see it as kindness and Chesed. And we know that the name Elokim is a name of Din, which means justice and judgment, and it's very careful, right, and strict. And we have a little bit of understanding that when that name of Hashem is used, it's telling us that Hashem is bringing us these hashpahs, the energy is coming down in this type of way. Every single name of Hashem is telling us how the Or Ein Sof, the light of the infinite, is being channeled and revealed to us in a certain way. So Rebbe Nachman just told us over here that this name of Hashem, Sag, which is talking about which is this one over here, which we said is the Shem Hashem that we're talking about, that's referring to someone who is nasag acher, who's fallen backwards, and someone who's on a lower level, and it's spread out this way. That's Shem Hashem, Yud Kei Vav Kei, with this milui. That's what this name means. But to hear the words that he just said, then a person, when a person's in that place, and they don't give up hope, and they don't think that they're lost completely, they're in a low place, and they still say, I know you're here with me, Hashem. They draw down chiyus, they draw down energy, they draw down life force from this name of Hashem. That's what's being revealed to them. That's the light of Hashem that's being revealed. That name is the name that gives life to all those who are falling down and are falling backwards. That's what that name of Hashem does. mikudishasai, from its holiness, lahachzikam, to give them strength. Laval yipol legamre, that they shouldn't completely fall down, chas v'shalom. Zeh bechinas baki b'shoiv, and this is that bakius, that expertise. Shezeh bakius shel bechinas shem yaboy, kadosh, bechinas shem sag. This is the holiness, this is the energy, the spiritual light that is being shone onto us, which is coming from that name of Yaboy, Yud, Beis, and Kuf, and this name of the Shem Sag, when we're in that situation. So, what's Rabbeinu telling us over here? What's Rebbe Nachman telling us? He's telling us something that a Lubavitcher friend of mine likes to see in the Likutei Moharan sometimes. He'll often say, the Rebbe says, or the Alter Rebbe says says this exact same thing. But Rebbe Nachman is showing what's going on behind the scenes. Right? Rebbe Nachman is telling us, when we're in that low place, and we don't give up hope, right? And we're an expert. We've learned this, and we put it into practice. And in that place, we still have hope, and we still know that Hashem's with us, and we know that we're here for a purpose, and we're in this place, and Hashem's right there holding our hand to help us through, to help us grow, to help us accomplish what we need to accomplish. When we have that mind frame, and we're doing that, we draw down this tremendous light from Hashem. And that light is revealed from this name of Hashem, Shem Sag, and from this name of Hashem, Shem Yablik. He's telling us how it's happening. And so too, when a person manages to get to some high level of holiness, he's mamish flying, everything's going great. He can't stop there. The person has to strengthen himself and become strong and go higher and higher. Then he draws down onto himself this holiness. He draws down this light from this other name of Hashem, which is Ekye B'milui Kisa. That's the same thing. That person up there in that place, who's doing really well and his mamish growing very high and is really on a high, that person also needs tremendous life and tremendous energy and tremendous light from Hashem. And if a person has this in mind and lives in this way, when they're up there, they're going to draw down this light from Hashem, from that name of Sag, from that name of Kisa, of Hashem. And they're going to be enlivened and they're going to have the energy to move forward. Because if that person's up at that level and they say to themselves, oh, look how awesome I am. I'm so amazing. Look what I just accomplished. Right? What's going to happen to them? This light that they need at that point, totally shut off. Nothing coming down, and they're going to start falling, and they're going to need the second name and the second light when they get down there. Right? That through silence and inside and outside, to your friend when he embarrasses you, through this we merit tshuva, which is this aspect of keser, the highest of the high of the spheres. Ayin sham. And we said over there, the fence for wisdom is shtika, is silence. Someone wants to become smart, they have to zip the lips a little bit. Because it's important that we judge every single person favorably. Even someone who is disagreeing with me and embarrassing me. You have to judge them favorably and be silent to them. And that's how we get to this level of keser. The Gemara says that a person, you cannot fault a person for saying something mean to you if they're in pain. Because when a person says something in pain, they're not really saying it. It's the pain that they're experiencing speaking. So you can't fault them for it, and you can't be upset with them for it. So he's saying over here something very, very, very big and deep. That judging someone favorably means understanding that when someone is talking to me, it's not emes min hashamayim coming out of their mouth. It's coming from their perspective. It's coming from their current situation, and everything that they've experienced their whole life, all the ups and downs, all the pain that's leading up to that, is what's coming out of their mouth. And what they're saying is coming from that unique personal perspective. And I can't take that to heart. I have to judge that person favorably and say, wow, I can only imagine what this person has been through to lead them to a place where they're talking to me in this way. Yeah? I just want to ask you quickly, this is a Zamra material right here from Torah Reish Pei Beis, right? What world do you want to live in, and what person do you want to be? Do you want to be the person who fights back and starts arguing and lets the argument heat up and get worse and worse and worse? And everyone gets angry and the blood starts boiling and people start fighting and maybe they will never reconcile? Right? Do you want to be that guy and living in that life? Or do you want to just be silent and not engage and not argue and realize that this person is coming from a certain place? And if I just hold myself back, I can allow peace to continue, I can allow a relationship to continue, and I can allow this person to probably understand what they're saying is wrong on their own. Right? Just a thought. So we have only a couple minutes left, and only a little bit left. We're going to make it. This is shiur number 8, by the way, in this Torah. So, Bechinas Keser. Kamuva b'midrash, like it's brought in the midrash. Mashal, la'echad shematza es chaveiro shu oisei keser. It's like a parable to someone who saw his friend making a crown. Amar loi, b'shvil mi. He said, who are you making this crown for? Amar loi, b'shvil melech. I'm making this crown for the melech. Amar loi, kevin shehu letzorech melech, hamelech, kol even toiv shetimtza tikbaenu. Since you're making this crown for the king, make sure to put into it every single precious gem you can find. You're making a crown for the king, you better use every diamond and every ruby and everything you can find. Kach kol echad mi Yisrael hu bechinas keser laHashem Yisbarach. So too, every single Jew is an aspect of the crown of Hashem. V'tzarich lahachnis boy kol min avonim toivos she'efshar limtzoi. And we have to find every single gem, every single diamond, every single ruby and emerald. And we have to put them onto that crown of Hashem. Dainu shetzrichim lishtadol lechapes ulavakesh achar kol tzad zchus v'davar toiv she'efshar limtzoi b'Yisrael. We have to look hard and mamish try our hardest to find all of those little pieces of good that are in every single Jew. V'ladun es hakol lechaf zchus, and to judge every single person favorably. Ki heim bechinas keser laHashem Yisbarach chenizkar leil, because they are this aspect of the crown of Hashem. Like the Chazal say, Hevedan es kol adam lechav zchus. In Pirkei Avos, we have to judge every person favorably. Nimtza shal yedei shedanim es hakol lechav zchus. It comes out that when we judge every single person favorably, shal yedei zeh shoitkin loy kish mevazi esoi. Therefore, I'm not going to fight with this person and argue with this person and try and slam them down when they embarrass me. Because I find something good in them. They're not so wrong in what they're saying. Because that person has decided, in whatever capacity they've decided, that this is the right thing for them to do. Right? First of all, maybe there's some truth to it, right? I'm telling you, I'm not joking. I had this exact experience within the last couple of weeks on a totally amazing level that I never experienced in my life before. It's ridiculous, the timing. Like Hashem is putting this Torah into my life. And you'll be happy to know that I passed the test for a while. And I was trying to not react, and this person kept over and over again, nudging and nudging and nudging, over and over again, until finally at one point I cracked a little bit. and anyway, long story short, I needed this Torah to help me to understand, and I know that if I would have kept strong, it would have been a totally different situation, right? It says in Nach, Yisrael she'espare b'cha, that Hashem calls us, Yisrael, that I will be adorned with you. That's what this medrash is talking about. That every single Jew is literally a gem stone in the crown of Hashem. Hashem doesn't want us to go around and slamming people down into the ground. Right? He doesn't want us to be talking negatively about other Yidden. He wants us to be lifting those gems up and shining them and polishing them and helping to put them in the crown. That's what we're supposed to be doing. And if I'm having this argument with somebody, if someone is pushing me in this way, and I start giving it back to them, and I start burying them, hitting them down, I start defending myself and smacking them down, what am I doing? I'm taking one of the jewels of Hashem's crown and throwing it into the mud, chas v'shalom. I'm taking one of Hashem's children and slapping them around. Can you imagine? Can you imagine as a parent, if you saw your child in an interaction with another kid, and another kid started throwing mud in the face of your child, right? How would you feel? How would you feel if your two children were doing that, and one of them is berating the other? It's not what a parent wants. It's not what Hashem wants. And it's not what we're supposed to be doing. Ninsa. Yeah. That's how we get into this realm of Keser. Hainu, kanal. Shayadei hadamima vashtika naisa bechinas Keser. V'havein. Through being silent, inside and outside, we get to this level of Keser, kanal, v'havein. Understand this. So at the end of the Torah, I feel like Rebbe Nachman did two things. He took everything that we learned and he expanded it and showed in such a deep way how it connects to the kavanos of the Arizal and how it connects to these hashpahs, these illuminations from Hashem in these two different realms. And he showed us how the wording of Rebbe Nachman, based on the Kisvei Arizal, was infinitely higher than we understood when we first read it. And that what Rebbe Nachman was really saying, this is when a tzaddik is talking. When a tzaddik says something to you, when a tzaddik writes something, you know, especially in the way that Rebbe Nachman writes, that there's more to it than you're really getting. There's more to it than we're really understanding. Rebbe Nachman just like pulled the curtain back a little bit and said, oh, you see what Rebbe Nachman said over here? When you're going on the derech of tshuva, you have to be a bucky in this and a bucky in that. And then afterwards, he said this name, you have to use the name Ekye, which is the name of tshuva. And then afterwards, he said to his students, you know how this fits into the Kisvei Arizal that you guys are such experts in? And no one had a clue. Rebbe Nachman just pulled the curtain back a little bit and said, oh, these are the words that Rebbe Nachman was using. This is what he was really saying on a deeper level. Derech, Baki, Ekye, it's all illuminations from Hashem. It's all receiving the light from Hashem in these different aspects and using our midas, our character traits, using our behavior to tap into this illumination. And he's teaching us. Rebbe Nachman taught us in a simple way. He said, you know what you got to do? Just when you're low, don't give up hope. Remember Hashem's with you. And don't give up hope and try harder. Try to hold your place. And when you're really high, don't become a balgaiva. Don't be arrogant. And try to go higher and higher. And that's what he told us on a simple level. And what Rebbe Nachman did is he said, you know what? That's what he told us, and this is what happens. This is a little bit of an understanding, a tipa, a drop in the ocean of what's really going on and what happens when we behave in this way. The illuminations that come to us, and the strength, and the chizuk, and the hashpah, the spiritual flow of energy that comes to us when we do this. And then, so he expanded in that way. And then what did he do? He brought it right back down to an important, simple idea that every Jew has to have. And that is, he's basically giving us over in a few short sentences what he himself refers to, Rebbe Nachman himself refers to as his most important Torah, which is a zamra, which is the necessity to judge every single person favorably and to always be looking for the good points in every single person you come in contact with. And including, says Alan, including and especially yourself. Right? So he brought it down to another simple thing. So Be'ez Hashem, after this Torah, I hope we feel that our eyes have been opened a little bit to some of what's really going on in Rebbe Nachman's Torahs, if you have the eyes to see it. And I hope our eyes have been opened to a way to exist and to understand that when we take these advices to heart, these pieces of advice to heart, that we receive tremendous energy from Hashem to help us out in what we're doing. Right? And we should all do our best to remember it, and because we're going to be faced with it. Now that we know it, right? Someone's going to try and embarrass us to our faces at some point, probably relatively soon. So everybody, be ready. Be on the lookout. It's going to happen. And remember, right? Our eyes are opened. that it's a tremendous opportunity to connect to Hashem on a deep level, to judge another Jew favorably, to polish up that diamond, and help Hashem to help it to go into the crown of Hashem. I'm going to just, I realized in the middle of the Torah, when we were going through the kabbalistic part, that I missed out one important one important point in this chart that I'm going to add, and I'm going to insert it into the video of the shiur. It's not, it basically works well without it, but it just gives it one little deeper level. Thank you everybody for participating in these 8 shiurim, and for allowing me to, like I said to a few of you, after learning this Torah the first time, I literally felt like my free will had been taken away to whether or not I would be a follower of Rebbe Nachman. This Torah blew me away to such an extent to see that Rebbe Nachman is drawing from every single aspect of Torah, from verses in the Torah, in Tehillim, in Mishnayos, in Divrei Chazal, in Medrash, in Kabbalah, Zohar, Tikkunei Zohar, Kisvei Arizal, and bringing everything together down to like one fine point and seeing how all of this works together. Some people say that the methodology of learning Pnimius Torah, of Kabbalah, is different from the methodology of learning the revealed Torah. In the revealed Torah, when the meaning like general halacha, Mishnayos, Gemara, when you have a conflict, a stira, things don't match up. So the derech is, the way to understand it is to say, okay, this case really is talking about this, and this case is really talking about this. So really, they're two different things, and that's why they're like this. The derech is to be machalik, is to say these two things are completely different. Whereas in Kabbalah, in the Pnimius Torah, the derech is to take two things, and there seems to be a contradiction to them, and really to show how they're one, how everything is yichud. It's to be miyached everything together, right? So this is, I think, another thing that we saw over here, is to see all these things that just seem like this advice, this, what's going on here, and to show how really it's all, in the end, it's all just an expansion of the word derech. It's all just an expansion of tshuva. It's an expansion of the names of Hashem, and it all goes back up to the yichud of Hashem Yisbarach. Any questions?
I can't remember the pasuk, but does it talk about that Avram crossed the Yabok?
Yeah, then it's a river.
Right, so it must
Nahar
be
Yabok.
connected.
Yeah.
There must be another way of understanding that because of all this.
Yeah.
Bechir.
Can you imagine?
Bechir.
Yeah. I haven't been there yet. Yeah. Yeah.
Same word.
Yeah. We have to see. We have to figure it out. Is that a challenge? Is that a challenge, Mrs. Erskov?
No, it's going to make sense.
We got to figure it out. That's amazing.
Right,
Yeah.
to see all this in that he crossed the Yabok, that he passed all that.
Yeah.
He did it. He achieved,
That's only if he,
achieved it. All this.
We got to see it.
that's only if he was a double crosser.
He did.
He had to do it twice.
He went across and he went back to get. Oh no, that was.
That's
all-
Yaakov, yeah.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Change the subject. So you said that Rebbe Nachman always went forward. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Before you were done, but we always learned that a tzaddikim falls 7 times.
Uh-huh.
So how do you?
Yeah, here.
Sometimes you have to go back before you go forward. So
Right.
You never went back. You always went forward.
I have 2 thoughts on this, but do you have anything?
I'm asking you.
2 thoughts are that this that he said, he was saying at the end of his life, and it may have been that he got to a certain point where he was moving forward always, or for us anyway, right, is to understand that when I hit a yerida, it doesn't mean that I'm going back. I mean, if I'm living Rebbe Nachman's advice, when I fall down, that's not me going. That's not me reversing. That's me getting ready to. That's what I have to have right now. That's me like on the trampoline. I've just bent my legs, and I'm just getting ready to move forward, right? In other words, as long as I'm the only time that is really stepping back, is if I lose my faith, I lose my amunah, I lose my hope, I'm miyayish, right? If I'm in that situation and I lose it, then I'm falling back, right? But if I'm able to implement this, and that happens to us, by the way, right? The question is, just as we learn, maybe when we make a yerida, as we grow, that Yerida doesn't last as long. And that Yerida, we're conscious of it, and we're able to get out quicker and move higher and faster, right? Right? But I think, Rebbe Nachman experienced ups and downs, but it could be, this is me saying this, I'm not, right? That if he wrote the Torah on this, literally, he wrote the book on this, right? That when he was sinking down, when he was going through these, even when he was, doing amazing things, like what was happening to him, his children were dying.
Because Rebbe Nachman had a lot of challenges himself.
Yeah.
A lot
Right.
of challenges.
So I think maybe that's one possibility from my own words. So nobody get mad at me if you don't think it's correct, right? And also, facing challenges is not a stira to moving up in spirituality, right? Just because my experience seems to be up and down, it doesn't mean that my spirituality is going down. It could be that I'm in the middle of a challenge and really I'm being the strongest that I've ever been, right? And it's painful and it's hard to go through, but really right now I'm in extreme growth mode. And I'm through this challenge, I'm going to become, it's going to be clear who I really am. You know what I mean? Just a couple thoughts. Yeah.
When Rebbe Nachman was talking about declaring in the beginning,
Yeah.
he said sometimes he would declare it maybe 100 times a day. Did he consider that a Yerida, or that was just on a different level? Having to declare, Hashem, I declare in the beginning.
It's a good question. I'm going to say, first of all, any ideas? I'm going to say almost the same answer, but not quite.
What's the question?
Rebbe Nachman was known to, so he obviously said you gotta have a hischadshus, always have renewal, starting fresh, starting from a new point. And he said about himself that he would sometimes make a new beginning, even many times in one day, right? So Aver's asking, does that mean that there was like a yerida that he had to make a renewal to get out of that yerida? That's the question, right? So once again, maybe two ideas. One being that if you look at the situation through Rebbe Nachman's eyes, and you see that you're in a situation and something's not going the right way, and what is it that pulls you down and holds you back? What holds you back? Fear, anger, only Yetzer Hara, right? If something is holding you back from connecting to Hashem, if something is making you depressed, is making you feel like you can't do it, like to give up hope, chas v'shalom, that is the Satan. That is the Yetzer Hara trying to pull you down. So if you start to sense something like that, Rebbe Nachman is giving you the advice. What do you do? If that's it, because the Yetzer Hara doesn't want to make you do an avera. That's child's play. If the Yetzer Hara makes you do a sin, makes you do something you're not supposed to do, an avera, right? He doesn't care. It's like a one-off thing. He wants you to make you do a sin and then make you depressed about it, and then make you feel bad, and make you feel like you can't get out, and start to give up hope, and start to say, oh, I'm in this terrible situation, look what a terrible person I am, there's no hope for me, and to feel just low and not able to get out. So Rebbe Nachman tells us that's totally Yetzer Hara, no question about it. So what do? He's chadshus. Start new. That happened just now, okay, out of sight, out of mind. I'm starting fresh now. Yeah, I made a mistake. I don't care. I'm not thinking about it anymore. I'm moving forward. And then you just cut out the Yetzer Hara. You prevented your yerida that you would have gone down into, right? So the two things are either, once again, these are my own thoughts and own words, either it's preventative medicine to prevent you from getting into that realm, or it's the way to get out of that place, right? You start to feel a twinge of sadness and of like self-doubt and negative self-image, right away. Make a hischadshus, and you're not, either you didn't go there, or you got yourself out very quickly, right? Yeah.
Is there a missing element of self-assessment? In other words, I did it.
Yeah.
So when I talk to you about things, I know I've done it.
Very good.
I assess it, and I say, that's not who I am or want to be. And then if you say tshuva, whatever you want to say, I say, forgiveness, and then I can move forward.
Right.
Because if I just move forward without assessing it, then I really haven't learned.
Right.
Of what I've done.
Very important. So Sandra's saying that you have to you can't just push it aside and then forget about what happened, right? You have to deal with it. But I believe that Rebbe Nachman would tell us that at that point, make a renewal and don't think about it. And then tomorrow, do hisbodedus. And for a short time within your day, a short time, think about what happened and talk to Hashem about the mistake you made and why you made it and where it was coming from. And in Rabbi Nachman's own words, V'shar kol hayom b'simcha. And the whole rest of the day, b'simcha. You cannot dwell on this thing, and especially not right at that point. Get out of there. Get out of that place of negativity, move forward, and then, tomorrow you got to deal with it. But you got to deal with it in that 1 hour of hisbodedus. At some point in that time, maybe for 15, 20 minutes within your 1 hour of hisbodedus, go to that place and figure out where it was coming from. What did I do? How did I? What was wrong? What were my feelings? What do I got to work on? Shar kol hayom b'simcha. 23 hours after that, happiness, for sure. Yeah. Anything else? Okay. Thank you, everybody. All the best.